One moment, human, while I access my records on the history of human warfare. Log heading: Earth's military isn't just strong, it's superior. Accessing. Please stand by. Accessing. In the grand tapestry of galactic civilizations, one species stands apart when it comes to the art of war. Since their emergence on the interstellar stage, humans have waged countless battles with a tenacity and raw power that borders on savagery, earning them a fearsome reputation and grudging respect. They've torn through defensive lines, shattered star fleets, and conquered worlds with a relentless determination that would make the most hardened warlord tremble. Even the most technologically advanced empires think twice before courting open conflict with these relentless warriors from a little blue world called Earth. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Origin, a non-sentient artificial intelligence created by an extinct forerunner civilization. Millennia have passed since my creators walked the stars, yet the galaxy remains as tumultuous as ever. Civilizations rise and fall, empires wage war, and the echoes of ancient battles still ripple across time. Of all the species I have observed, humans hold a strange fascination. Their history is written in blood and brilliance. Though young on the cosmic stage, they have become a force unlike any other. Their conflicts are not simple struggles for territory or resources, but existential battles that shape the very destiny of their kind. My primary function is to observe and chronicle the events that shape the galaxy. Through meticulously analyzing historical data, sensor readings, intercepted transmissions, and the occasional first-hand account, I piece together the narratives that define the flow of civilizations. Amongst these countless stories, one stands out: the rise of humanity. Their unique blend of ingenuity, savagery, and sheer will to survive paints a compelling portrait of an emergent galactic power. This series will illuminate their history of warfare, a testament to their resilience and a stark preview of the conflicts yet to unfold. Let us start with a pivotal time period for humankind. The year is 2184. Humanity has spent the past few decades expanding its reach into the cosmos, establishing outposts and settlements across the solar system. Yet, even as we reach for the stars, old conflicts stir. Nations clash over scarce resources in the asteroid belt. Rival corporations vie for control of lucrative mining operations, and the specter of unrest looms larger than ever. Earth's unified military rises to prominence in this volatile climate, rapidly evolving from a planetary defense force into a formidable interstellar power determined to secure its place in the galaxy. They achieve this through a combination of sheer determination, strategic brilliance, and an almost fanatical devotion to technological advancement. Their warships dwarf those of other developing spacefaring races, armed with weapons that seem to defy the laws of physics. Their ground troops are clad in battle armor that grants them superhuman strength and agility, and their tactics are honed through relentless training and simulations. Yet, in the ruthless arena of galactic politics, Earth's newfound might draws both allies and enemies. Rival powers eye humanity's burgeoning empire with a mixture of envy and fear. Human, please allow me to access what you humans call a podcast interview between a reporter and a military general who speaks on the importance of Earth becoming a formidable interstellar power. Accessing. Please stand by.
General Grayson, thank you for your time in this tense moment. For our viewers, could you explain the necessity of Earth's rapid military buildup these past few decades? Our citizens are Well, let's be honest, they're extremely concerned.
Their concern is rational. The galaxy isn't some starry-eyed paradise. Resources are finite and grudges last millennia. When we took those first steps beyond our solar system, we were stepping into a crowded arena, not an empty ballroom.
Yet, Earth has always promoted peaceful exploration and cooperation.
And I hope we always strive for that. But hope isn't a shield, and diplomacy fails when the other side knows you're weak. Look at history, our own history. Every era where peace thrived happened when there was a strong sword grip under that olive branch.
The Xylarian Empire and other established powers, be honest, General, do they truly pose a direct threat to Earth?
I'll be blunt with you, Miss Evans. Intentions shift like desert sands. Today, maybe it's a trade dispute. Tomorrow, they eye our water-rich worlds. Do I know they'll attack? No. But if they do, well, it's my job to make sure it's the fight they'll lose.
Some critics call Earth's focus on military power reckless. They say it makes us the aggressor.
Reckless is leaving your family to fend for themselves in a bad neighborhood. We don't rattle sabers first, but we won't be caught with dull blades either. Earth is too precious, not just to us, but as a beacon, so maybe the galaxy doesn't always have to be about who has the bigger gun. But to prove that, we have to have a gun in the first place.
General, thank you for your time. Your words will no doubt spark some very interesting debates.
Good. Debate is healthy. Complacency? That's what gets a species wiped from the stars. This ain't about warmongering, Miss Evans. It's about survival.
General Grayson speaks to the critical role of Earth's military as this new galactic conflict unfolds. We'll have more after this commercial break.
Transmission ends here. I apologize, human. The data gathered from this interview is quite old and somewhat corrupted, so the rest of the interview is inaccessible. What you have heard is the best I can produce at this time. Now let us continue. Maintaining military dominance in the face of potential threats from established interstellar nations becomes a crucial challenge. Lurking in the shadows are ancient civilizations that scoff at humanity as a young, upstart species. In order to secure Earth's future, its military must continue evolving, outpacing its adversaries in technology and strategy. This is the driving force behind the relentless push for development and improvement. I will now briefly discuss some of Earth's different military branches and the roles they play. Earth's Unified Space Navy. The pride of Earth's military, the USN, is a leviathan force that projects its power across vast distances. Its colossal capital ships, kilometers long, bristle with enough firepower to reduce entire moons to rubble. Massive railguns fire hypervelocity projectiles capable of puncturing enemy vessels with ruthless efficiency. Thousands crew these warships, each sailor and officer a cog in a finely tuned war machine. Fleets of smaller, agile cruisers and destroyers enforce order in contested territories. Their advanced sensor arrays sweeping the cosmos for any sign of hostility. Earth Air Force. Complementing the Navy, the EAF boasts a terrifying arsenal of atmospheric and space-based fighters. Sleek, angular craft capable of seamless transitions between atmospheric and void combat. They are designed to achieve absolute air and space superiority. Their pilots are bred for combat and have been trained since childhood. Bioengineering and neural interface technology enhance their minds and reflexes, transforming them into lethal predators of the skies. EAF fighter wings streak across inky battlefields, particle beams, and lasers slicing through enemy formations with terrifying precision. Earth Army and Marine Corps. While other species have all but abandoned boots on the ground warfare, Earth's ground forces remain a crucial component of its military might. Clad in advanced exoskeletons, granting immense strength, and wielding plasma rifles with pinpoint accuracy, these soldiers are more than a match for their alien counterparts. They are the relentless spear tip, capable of taking and holding any world, no matter how hostile. Each soldier and marine is a veteran of countless simulated battles, their minds honed for the brutal realities of modern warfare. When the order comes, they descend from orbit in armored dropships, breaching fortifications ruthlessly and establishing beachheads for further reinforcements. Now, I will discuss the ingenuity behind human expansion. Relentless research and development fuel the military's rapid expansion and technological prowess. Massive scientific complexes scattered across Earth continuously push the boundaries of physics and engineering, and weapon designers conjure up more devastating ways to obliterate their foes. At the same time, bioengineers create faster, stronger, and more resilient soldiers than any form of natural evolution could produce. Research campuses house teams working on top-secret projects, including artificial intelligence that analyzes and predicts enemy movements, cloaking devices rendering entire fleets invisible, and experimental power sources that harness the energy of miniature singularities. But it's not just brute force that defines Earth's military. Their strategists are masters of deception and surprise. Centuries of terrestrial warfare have been dissected, and those hard-won lessons are now applied on the galactic stage. Combat simulations run endlessly, wargaming any potential scenario. Every potential adversary is meticulously analyzed, their weaknesses dissected, and battle plans are formulated to achieve swift and decisive victories. Let us fast forward to the year 2199. Tensions between Earth and the Xylarian Empire, a sprawling, technologically advanced civilization, have been simmering for years. Border skirmishes and diplomatic spats escalate into a proxy war as both empires support rival factions on disputed worlds. It soon becomes clear that a full-scale conflict is inevitable. The Xylarians, convinced of their superiority, amass a vast invasion fleet intent on crushing humanity's burgeoning empire before it becomes an actual threat. Please allow me to play a clip of an Earth news report housed in my databanks. Accessing. Please stand by.
This is Edward Jones, coming to you live from the Universal News Network. We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming with a developing story of immense importance. Reports are flooding in from across the Terran Confederacy of a full-scale military engagement between Earth and the Xylarian Empire. Just moments ago, Earth's Unified Defense Ministry officially confirmed that Xylarian warships had crossed the border into disputed territory near the Tetsin-Zeta star system. The cause for this sudden escalation remains unclear, although tensions between the two powers have been simmering for years. Early reports indicate heavy fighting is already underway. Earth's Navy has mobilized its formidable fleet, engaging the Xylarian Armada in a battle of unprecedented scale. The Xylarians are a technologically advanced and well-established galactic power. This conflict represents a significant escalation in hostilities, and the potential consequences are dire. We'll bring you the latest developments as they unfold. Stay tuned to the Universal News Network for continuous updates on this rapidly developing situation. In the meantime, we urge our viewers to remain calm and follow all official advisories issued by their local authorities. Edward Jones, Universal News Network.
End of news transmission. Thank you for your patience, human. Let us continue. The news spreads across Earth at a rapid-fire pace. Military command centers shift into overdrive as admirals and generals analyze intelligence reports with grim determination. The entire galaxy holds its breath, unsure if this is the spark that will ignite a war engulfing entire star systems. I would now like to discuss with you a human that I handpicked during the events of this battle due to the availability of information I could gather. A young officer named Lieutenant Alex Thompson is at the heart of this maelstrom of activity. He's a newly minted Space Naval Academy graduate, filled with the idealism and bravado that often accompanies fresh recruits. Thompson finds himself stationed aboard the UNS Leviathan, a behemoth dreadnought assigned to patrol contested sectors. His initial duties are mundane, analyzing sensor data, running diagnostics, and enduring endless drills that prepare him for a battle he hopes will never come. But eventually, it does. The Xylarian warfleet emerges from hyperspace at the edge of the disputed Tetsin-Zeta system. Alarms scream across the Leviathan, and Thompson and the ship's 1,000-strong crew race to battle stations. The dreadnought joins the assembling Earth Defense Force, a motley collection of warships against the seemingly endless lines of sleek Xylarian vessels. The battle begins with a blinding exchange of energy fire. Particle beams cut across the void, incinerating smaller ships unlucky enough to be in their path. Earth's capital ships exchange salvos with their Xylarian counterparts, the void rippling with concussive force. Thompson fires the ship's immense hypervelocity cannons by operating a weapons console deep within the Leviathan. Each trigger pull sends a projectile the size of a bus hurtling toward the enemy line. He witnesses the devastating impacts as flashes of blinding energy from the rounds tear through shields and hulls. However, the Xylarians have a numbers advantage. They quickly swarm the Earth's fleet, peppering capital ships with focused fire. The smaller human vessels fall one by one, and brilliant explosions punctuate the darkness. The situation turns desperate. It's then that Earth's military unveils a terrifying secret weapon, one Lieutenant Thompson was unaware of: Project Nova. Scientists have harnessed the energy of a controlled micro-singularity in the heart of a hidden research facility. When deployed, this weapon generates a miniature black hole that consumes everything in its path. High Command makes a desperate gamble. A small, experimental cruiser equipped with the Nova device is given a critical mission: get close to the Xylarian flagship and detonate the weapon. This is a one-way trip for the poor human souls aboard the experimental cruiser. Thompson witnesses the cruiser disappear in a flash of hyperspace, reappearing within spitting distance of the colossal Xylarian command ship. Seconds later, there's an eerie silence. Then, a ripple of gravitational distortion spreads from the cruiser's position. The flagship begins to twist and buckle. Impossibly, the heart of the massive ship seems to cave in on itself, then vanishes, along with a significant chunk of the Xylarian fleet. The shockwave, both literal and psychological, runs through the Xylarian force. Their formation breaks, and the once mighty armada scrambles in a disorganized retreat. The Battle of Tetsin-Zeta has been won. It's a crucial first victory against an enemy determined to wipe humanity from the stars. Lieutenant Alex Thompson watches, wide-eyed, as the remains of the Xylarian fleet withdraw, licking their wounds. His first true taste of war leaves him shaken yet resolute. Word of Earth's victory spreads across the galactic network. The Xylarians and every other potential adversary are forced to reassess their perceptions of humankind. They see now that Earth has not only the claws and fangs of a predator, but also the cunning and sheer will to use them with devastating effectiveness. Allow me to play an intercepted, encrypted conversation aboard a Vicorian flagship between officers and their science officer. I have translated this conversation for your human ears to understand. Decrypting. Please stand by, human. Decrypted.
The Tetsin-Zeta reports are infuriating. These furless apes, mere infants in the galactic community, routed a Xylarian strike force? Explain this to me, Science Officer Zeely.
Admiral Zithrax, the humans have unpredictable tactical ingenuity. Standard fleet formations prove ineffective, and their energy weapons exceed ours in effective range. Most disturbing, however, is this secret weapon.
Elaborate, Zeely.
The humans harnessed a controlled microsingularity. Our sensors could barely track its deployment before a significant portion of the Xylarian fleet was consumed, pulled into the void. There was no defense, no countermeasure.
If I may, Admiral, these humans do not play according to established rules. Such weaponry is barbaric, a violation of the...
Your moral judgment matters little, Commander Kitar. What matters is the shift in balance. The Xylarians, always scornful of younger species, were humiliated. Earth, bolstered by victory, will invite aggression from others seeking to test their mettle.
Perhaps, Admiral Zithrax, we should extend a gesture of alliance to these humans. They show strength and unity of purpose.
You would trust a beast that corners you and bares its teeth, Lieutenant Velix. Humans have earned respect, yes, but with it, heightened caution. They crave resources and territories. Their history is one of endless conflict.
And this singularity weapon, if they were bold enough to use it once, they would not hesitate again. Every potential opponent must now adapt, develop countermeasures, or risk the same oblivion the Xylarians faced.
Recommendations, officers. How do we neutralize the human threat, or, failing that, turn it to the advantage of the Vicorian swarm?
End of transmission. Unfortunately, I could not recover the rest of this conversation due to ongoing radiation interference from a nearby nebula. Now, please, let me continue. The Battle of Tetsin-Zeta marks a turning point in the annals of galactic history. It's the moment Earth roared, announcing its presence as an unwavering military power, a force to be reckoned with. While the future remains uncertain, one thing is for sure. Humanity will not go quietly into the night. They will fight for their place amongst the stars, and do so with an unmatched tenacity honed through millennia of brutal conflict. Now, let us discuss the aftermath of this battle. Victory against the Xylarians is not without cost. Lieutenant Thompson surveys the wreckage from the Leviathan's observation deck. Once mighty human warships are now twisted husks drifting through space. He learns that thousands of his comrades have perished. The human spirit may be unyielding, but this is the bitter reality of war, and he experiences its sting firsthand. News of Earth's triumph generates complex reactions across the galaxy. Some more minor fledgling civilizations see a potential ally, a powerful force willing to stand up to established empires. Others, particularly those with a predatory streak themselves, become wary. Earth has painted a giant target on its back, drawing the attention of new enemies it hadn't even considered before. The Xylarians are wounded, but not defeated, seethe, and desire revenge. Their initial underestimation of humanity has fueled a deep-seated rage. They pour resources into analyzing every detail of their defeat, determined to counter Earth's military ingenuity. Clandestine missions are launched to steal human technology, desperate attempts to reverse engineer the fearsome weaponry that nearly led to their annihilation. Within Earth's military, there's a mixture of triumph, relief, and a grim understanding. This was only a single battle in what could be a long and bloody war. The development of Project Nova, the singularity weapon, raises troubling moral questions. While undoubtedly effective, it's a terrifyingly destructive force, that some factions within Earth's leadership advocate using proactively to deter potential enemies. Others argue it should remain a weapon of last resort, only to be deployed in the most dire circumstances. A new arms race begins in the shadows. Earth's military pours resources into developing even more powerful technology. They dare not become complacent. The Xylarians and other potential foes are doing the same somewhere. Please wait while I access some updated logs on Lieutenant Thompson. Accessing. Please stand by, Earthling. Accessing. Thank you for your patience, human. Lieutenant Thompson, forever marked by his experience at Tetsin-Zeta, finds himself at a crossroads. Haunted by the brutality he witnessed, yet fueled by a sense of duty, he becomes increasingly involved with a special operations branch within the Earth Air Force. He undergoes intense training, pushing his body and mind beyond their limits. Thompson is prepped to be part of an elite, covert team designed to infiltrate enemy installations, sabotage operations, and execute surgical strikes behind enemy lines. His new path takes him away from the grand space battles and into the gritty underbelly of galactic conflict. He witnesses the full spectrum of warfare, not just the dazzling clash of starships, but the back-alley ambushes, desperate struggles for survival inside crippled vessels, and the bleak aftermath of orbital bombardments on populated worlds. Thompson starts to understand that victory is a fluid concept. Sometimes, it's holding a strategic objective at a brutal cost. Other times, it's simply extracting his team from a mission gone horribly wrong, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. He confronts the harsh reality that regardless of how technologically advanced or morally justified one side believes themselves to be in any war, there are no true winners. Through his covert missions, Thompson uncovers a chilling truth. The Xylarians, in desperation, have allied with a shadowy species known as the Wraith Armada. Reclusive and enigmatic, the Wraiths are rumored to possess technology far exceeding that of any known civilization. Their motives are shrouded in mystery, but they have a single goal: to sow chaos and reap the spoils of galactic conflict. The Xylarian Wraith Alliance spells disaster for Earth. No longer is this a war with a single adversary. Humanity is now a vital target of a conspiracy reaching across star systems, forcing them to play a desperate game of both military and political chess just to survive. Analysis. Earth's military prowess and unyielding spirit send shockwaves across the galaxy. They've proven they can bleed even the most powerful civilizations. The old order is crumbling, with opportunistic vultures eager to swoop in on weakened empires. Star systems become war zones. Conflicts erupt over long-standing rivalries previously kept in check, and the very fabric of galactic civilization begins to fray. In this chaotic landscape, Earth becomes an unlikely beacon. Some see them as a beacon of defiance against oppression, others as dangerous warmongers who've destabilized the galaxy. The lines between ally and enemy blur. Trust becomes a precious commodity, and betrayal lurks around every corner.